Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped, something sick.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny, I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things, of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
All right. Do you have any parts that you'd like to get to know better or change your relationship with? Or anything else you'd like to talk about?
Well, yeah. I do have this headache and I'm curious to work with it.
Great.
With IFS.
Okay. So, how do you notice it in your body? And you might be really specific about the shape, the color, intensity.
It's very intense. It feels like a vice, like it's got clamp, a very tight sensation.
Mm-hmm. Does it respond at all to being noticed?
Well, in the night when I woke up with it, I was responding to it as a part and just speaking softly to it and just letting it know that I was there. And it seemed to like that. So right now, how does it respond? There's maybe a little bit more space around it. I can't get a sense of color.
And does it have kind of a pinpoint location?
Back right of my skull and temples at the moment. It's kind of moving around.
Mm-hmm. So anything that you feel like worked well for you when you were responding to it earlier that you'd like to do more of?
I mean, didn't really change it that much. I was just trying something else out because it's very easy to feel like I want this to go away, because it hurts.
All right.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't that it changed the sensations necessarily. I was just trying something else on.
And did the want it to go away parts make space?
Yeah, they're like the default response. So
Sure.
it was more a kind of a questioning of, or not questioning of them, but just trying something else, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. And how about now? How are you feeling towards the headache?
I mean, the truth is, I do want it to go away. It's uncomfortable. Yeah. I have a 6-hour drive ahead of me, so that it's not practical. It doesn't fit with my day. And I know that they can get pretty bad and be debilitating. And it can, be all day and mean that I'm not really very functioning. So, yeah there's definitely parts that don't want it to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. And if, it's got this aching, it's got this pain that's bothering the whole system, it makes sense.
Yeah. And it becomes quite sort of full-bodied. I, can feel it. But, it just makes me less physically able and weaker. It can go to vomiting, So yeah, it's intense.
And if it is a part, then maybe we can think about it as a part that, the part and the ache being separate. Like there's the part, we could call it the head and the ache being separate. The head we don't want to go away. If that makes any sense. So I wonder if you can.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm also open to being totally wrong about any of that and totally wrong about it being a part.
I mean, I'm really open to it being a part. It's not new. I've had headaches my whole life and, a history of migraines, and I would not be surprised. I mean, isn't everything a part?
Yeah. I mean, especially if with the language of a part can be just a part of the body, even, my finger is a part of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that idea of the part being separate from the sensations.
Mm-hmm.
So with that idea, is it that the part is, I guess I don't get to how
It's trying to tell you something.
Turns into pain. Okay. Yeah, of course. Okay.
So is there enough curiosity? Have the parts that want it to go away made space? Will they give you time and space just to investigate that possibility?
I mean, it's a little bit conditional. I'll give you some space, but only if you make it go away.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm joking really, but they're still there. That's for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And yes, there's some curiosity, particularly now in the context of what you've suggested.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and if they are preventing you from being able to, stay curious at any time, well, you can just notice them, respond to them, and maybe get to know them. Maybe get to know how their reactions are influencing the system, for better or worse.
Mm. Let's see how they respond to whatever we're going to do.
Okay. So see if you can let this part know that you're curious about it. You want to understand what's behind the message, the painful message that you're getting. Just see if it has any response, any shift.
Well, it's taking me a little bit of time to get into self, but I'm noticing as I drop, there is a shift.
Great.
Because it recognizes the change. It has a sort of relief that there's someone in charge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like it recognizes I'll use the word power. When you recognize its power, you could try asking what it wants you to know.
It's saying something about making time. I need to recognize that the importance of making time to process what's okay, just give me a sec.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has to do with, I'm just doing it feels like there's a lot of inner processing happening at the moment.
Okay.
And it's saying I need to make the space for that to land and to just recognize that that needs time, rest.
Mm.
I listened to the call that you sent yesterday, and it's just deep work. It feels very deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is deep. It is very deep.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs the respect of recognition.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Does it make sense to you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, a lot of processing going on. Making space, making time for that to land. Recognizing the depth, the power of the work.
That's right. But I guess there's a curiosity from me as to what, because as I said, headaches have been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And what's that about?
Yeah, you could ask it, what's that about? And maybe, ask, is it similar? Is it also about times when there's been maybe too much going on inside and not enough recognition? Or space?
I think I've got a self-like part that's in charge at the moment.
Mm-hmm. And how'd you notice that?
It's got a trying energy, trying to find the answers energy.
Oh. Yeah. And what's it afraid would happen if it doesn't?
It's got a job, it's like, that they won't be, sorry, we're talking over each other, but that they won't be, that I won't do it properly, that I won't do it right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I appreciate that. I'm also looking out for that, and how long this might take, or what parts even are. What is this part? These are all answers that I don't have. So
yeah,
it does take a lot of trust and space and experimentation sometimes.
Yeah. It's saying that it doesn't think I have the capacity to get into self in this current state that I'm in. So it feels like it needs to step in.
Okay. And so if it were to step in,
do it right,
then it would do it right, and that by getting the answers, assembling the answers.
I don't want to go on a big parts loop. I don't want to, the frustrated, sort of resigned, frustrated part that just sees this pattern of one leading to another, to another, to another, and just doesn't want that right now.
Yeah. And you could, reflect that back to it and kind of check with it how that's a pattern that you've noticed before. And how that can keep you from getting the ground truth from parts, getting to know parts.
I'm just letting it know, reminding it of the times when I have been able to talk directly and the difference that can make. How can I access self now? What can I do to deepen that connection?
Get that self-like part to step back. All we need is curiosity.
It really wants to do a good job. It really wants to be in control. Feels like it's kind of good. It's got a kind of gripping energy, it's got a very tight energy, and it doesn't feel helpful right now.
Right.
But I do acknowledge that it really wants to do a good job and that it tries hard.
You're acknowledging that. You're showing an appreciation for that.
Yeah. It's been, in control for so long and out of necessity.
Right.
And I worked really hard.
Right.
And I'm grateful for that. We can have a little rest now.
It's going to have a rest.
I guess I'm inviting it to. Inviting it to trust me. To remember when I have been able to step in and do the work so it doesn't have to.
How's it responding?
There's a little glimmer of willingness, but it's going to watch.
Great. Okay, thanks to that part. You ready to turn back to the headache?
Yeah.
It was talking about making time, being important, letting all that deep inner processing land.
I don't know where that answer came from, I don't know if that was this other part. Yeah.
All right.
Trying sort of attaching that idea to why it might be there.
Okay.
I mean, that makes sense, but I don't know if that's the actual answer from the headache part, you know?
Well, yeah, if you can turn back to the headache and ask it if that resonates with it, or if there's something else or something more that it wants to show you or tell you.
It says it's something to do with blocking out.
Mm-hmm.
It comes to block out when things are too much, when things have been too much.
Okay.
It's a strategy to avoid facing things that are difficult.
Yeah.
There's a lot of yellow color now.
There was a lot of yellow last time we talked when a 4-year-old exile showed up.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're related.
I wonder too.
You could try asking it to tell you more about the things that need to be blocked out.
The pain, the emotional pain.
Mm-hmm. Are you okay with it showing you that now and just kind of showing you more about that?
Yeah. It's too hard being in relationship with people.
Yeah.
They bring suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not safe. Can't be trusted.
Mm-hmm. Is that all making sense to you?
Yeah. I'm getting a lot of images of the flat I grew up in London.
Mm-hmm.
Just the rooms, the hallway, kitchen. Feeling a bit shaky.
Okay. Feels like too much, you can ask it to turn it down or back out.
No, it doesn't feel too much. It's just the closeness of difficult things.
Yeah, so there were a lot of difficult times, feeling of not being safe in those places.
Being seen.
Not being seen.
Yeah. The safety is just around emotional safety.
Mm-hmm.
wasn't safe to be myself,
Right.
be my emotional self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My feeling self.
All right. And it blocks that out.
I'm just trying to understand what it means by that. I'm just trying to come back into self-talking to this part rather than being in those places.
Okay, good. So you're trying to understand what it means by not being safe to be your emotional self?
No, by blocking it out.
Yes.
It just says it was too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like the body part response to the emotional pain was to create physical pain.
Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty common. Just let it know it makes sense. Let it know that you see all
It's
those.
really to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was really to do with relating. It's really specific to how difficult it is to relate.
Yeah. And if it didn't do its job, you'd be just overwhelmed by that pain of difficulty of not being able to relate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you able to show it appreciation for its intention?
Got quite a lot of emotion coming out.
Mm-hmm. And how is that?
Because it's good. It feels really good. It feels like a release. It's like, because that wasn't allowed to happen. Being emotional wasn't allowed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
As in so-called negative emotions, anger, but also sadness. And it's like the sadness part. That was the really censored part.
Sure.
So it's kind of traveling through my body now, as it has permission in this time. There's a lot of shaking, tears. I'm just rubbing that on my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Welcoming it.
Yeah.
Letting it know it's really welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, you can make space for it now and allow it now.
There's something around this. There was a block between my head and the rest of my body. And there's a little bit of release happening there. There's a lot of physical release happening.
Mm-hmm.
Tingling my hands. I can sort of feel where that block was. It's in my neck and the base of my skull, and it was like a piece of wood. Feels like a piece of wood. Like something went in and kind of hammered a piece of wood in there.
Yeah. And it kept that sadness and those other feelings from running loose.
Yeah. But they had to go, something had to go somewhere, and that's part of what the headache was.
Right. And how does it like all of this? How does it like the way that you've been able to learn more about it and accept and allow those feelings that it's been trying to block?
It's really surprised by the attention, by my willingness to let this happen. I feel really happy.
Awesome.
Okay, there's a lot of reddy pink now.
Okay.
Really bright.
Okay.
It's kind of making its way down into my body now. I'm just letting my feet find the floor.
Okay. You feeling all right with that?
I mean, it's a lot, but it feels okay. I feel like I have a lot of support.
Yeah. You can always ask parts to turn it down a little if it feels like too much.
I just want to find a blanket.
Go for it. Feel free to put the call on mute or to do whatever you need to do.
No, it's good. I found something. I just wanted to wrap something around me. A bit cold and shivery. My son's hoodie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Kids know what they need.
Ah, it feels good. Feels like I've got a little cocoon now.
And was that
protective?
Good. Was the pink kind of feeling like it was from a different part?
Yeah. Yeah.
More of the part whose feelings weren't allowed before?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Orange now. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of movement happening, James.
Mm-hmm.
This feels really big. I mean, manageable, not too big. It's just significant.
Great.
When I say big, I mean significant.
Great. Okay. What feels right to do next or to learn about?
Are you asking me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to jump away from what's happening. I don't
okay.
know next.
I didn't hear anything you said. The connection got choppy.
Okay. I said, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to next. I just want to be with what's happening now.
Awesome.
There's the warmth from the hoodie and the comfort of that around me. And there's the recognition that something big's just happened.
And
there's a bit of a calming down from the shakiness. Yeah. I'm just making space for all of that. Letting that be in space with me. I'm just checking in with the headache part.
Yeah.
Still feels like there's some heaviness there in the head.
Yeah. You could ask how else you can help it, what else you can do for it.
saying something about the exile.
Mm-hmm.
It's just saying exile. I'm trying to understand what it means. I think that was another part.
Another part mentioning the exile.
Yeah, like trying to push for something. Looking for the answer.
Right. Yeah. And I have that part too. And I have my process. You know, I don't know about the colors, for example. Like I can't, guide you around that necessarily. And then that's not a problem. I'm just saying I have that part too of, okay, let's find the exile. Okay, let's do the process, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When you say about the colors, what do you mean? What are you saying?
Oh, I just mean that I have my parts that they stick to the process of there's a protector and there's an exile and it works like this. And that may not be relevant or helpful when you're having a direct experience about specific blocks, specific colors and somatic feelings and all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm just acknowledging that.
Okay. I have a sense around the colors.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But it's not. It's just, well, okay. So my sense around the colors is around the different energy points. So, from a chakra point of view, the different energy points in the body. Yeah, that there's this idea. I don't have enough knowledge, really, but my kind of layperson's version of things is that, if attachment stages don't happen properly, then, things don't, there's not the, and then, so it's kind of an attachment theory idea alongside a chakra energy perspective, which, then there isn't the development of the chakras don't happen properly. And so the colors I'm getting relate to those different energy centers. And to me, I don't have anything more to say other than that. Maybe there's just a bit of a shift in energy in that area as I do this work.
Yeah.
That feels right. Yeah. So then there's a little shaky stuff happening in the body. It feels like a confirmation of that idea.
Awesome. Good. That was my next question is, does it feel right for these parts?
Yeah, I mean, the kind of theoretical idea that I just said, it comes from the experience.
Right.
So it's the experience first and then me going, okay.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Oh.
When you checked back in with the headache part, you said it had some heaviness.
Still a bit of pain. I meant like still a bit of that gripping, tight feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Less, definitely, but still like a shell of it. The shakiness is coming back now. Just letting some of that come out with movement.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just wrapping myself up again. Okay, check in with the head again. I mean, it feels a lot more spacious in my head now.
Yeah.
This is like an integrating happening in the body. What's happened? Movement of energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Allowed some of that energy to flow through you, gave it a space to land.
Yeah.
Let it know it was okay.
The head saying, this is enough. Like, this is big. What's just happened is big. Don't rush. It's okay.
Sounds
You're doing
good.
great.
I think so.
It just wants, it doesn't want me to rush on to the next stage. It doesn't want me to rush to finish the call. It just wants us to sit here together.
Mm-hmm.
And be in this new space.
Yeah.
To give it the time and space it needs. It's not one and done. It's not, let's get it, jump in, get to the part,
Right.
have a rummage around, do the work, release this, release that.
Yeah. And I know that you said those other parts, those protective parts were watching. I wonder if they're watching that too and seeing just what you're capable of without their intervention. Those other parts, providing the answers
I'm
parts.
I'm just checking in with that one, and it's really moved. It feels really moved. By what's happened. Are you there?
I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, just checking.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy to wait, to do nothing, to listen. I have follow-up questions if you'd like to hear them, but I'm happy to hold on to them.
It likes being listened to.
Mm-hmm.
I think listening is a big theme for my system. Well, I know it is.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what this is all about.
Mm. It likes you listening. It likes me listening.
Yeah.
It sees the other parts listening too. You know, it feels like we're all here together, supporting each other. There's a lot of body shaking happening. It feels like that's a release of energy, but also it's like parts showing that they're present.
Yeah. Like a parade.
Yeah. I mean, actually, no, not as noisy as that. It's like a really deep listening circle.
Nice.
So supportive and welcoming and present. I just wanted to let my body come to stillness. I'm curious about your follow-up questions now.
My follow-up questions are basically, what do these parts need to enable, to help you get back to this place in the future?
I'm not sure I completely get that. What you mean? Can you say it again?
Yeah. So, you got to this place where these parts are feeling understood, and there's a listening circle. And so, comparing that to where you were at the start of our conversation, if you find yourself feeling that way again tomorrow or next week or whenever, do the parts have any requests or suggestions for how to get to the listening circle again?
Mm-hmm. The first response is something saying, a kind of fear, I guess, of not being able to do that. not knowing how to do that without a witness. In this case, you. I find it really hard to get to self on my own. And so you're going to ask me to ask the parts how to do it.
I'm also going to offer to continue being a witness. So,
yeah, but I do ultimately want to be able to access this space alone. I'm going to ask rather than jump in with an answer myself or from another part. How to get to this place if I need to, when I need to. So this part's just saying, you're doing great. It's okay. It's okay that you can't get there on your own sometimes. It's okay. Look at the work you're doing. Look how far you've come. Give yourself a break. It's okay. More shaking. It's saying, just try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, that's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Just give it a try. And if it doesn't work, don't beat yourself up for it.
That's right. Be patient. Trust. Be kind.
And do any parts have any requests of me?
Well, there's a bit of a fear part coming up about the headache. I'm worried that it's when I come out of this space that it's going to return and be bad again. Or that it maybe is still bad, but because I'm in this space, I can't feel it so much. And that's the fear.
Yeah. It just, all I can think is just ask the headache what it needs from you in the future.
Well, I was saying it really enjoyed this attention and what it led to. It's saying I could use, it might be useful to use writing if I'm finding it hard to do it on my own. In my head, like trying to do access self just by being.
Right.
Oh, there's so much release happening in my body. It's good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Glad to hear it. Starts with attention.
Say that again.
Starts with attention. That's what the headache part was saying.
Starts with attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts with attention. There's something about maybe a fear part gets in the way when I'm trying to access self on my own. Maybe there are parts that get in the way because I don't think I'm going to be able to do it on my own. It's just asking me to remember that might happen.
Yes. And you just attend to those parts.
Yeah, just welcome them as well.
You might, there might be a way to kind of take a snapshot of the listening circle of just some way to maybe externalize that or to make a special space in your home or something where it might be easier to remember. Just an idea.
A place to come to that represents that.
Yeah.
Reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Loving connection and support.
Yeah. You don't necessarily need to, build a new room. It could be a draw. It could be a drawing on a Post-it note. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yep, yeah. I'm just opening my eyes and coming into the room that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to kind of reassure, or just see if I can reassure that part that's worried about the headache returning, because I actually feel different physically now.
Yeah.
And I want to show it that that's the case.
Yeah. That you feel differently and that you do have an ability to address it and listen to it.
I'm also, there's a, whenever I get a headache, I Google IFS and headaches. And there's, quite a lot of stuff there, and
Sure
some articles that I say, but I always, my headache's too bad to read it. So I then never read it. So I'm going to make a promise to whoever needs to hear it that I'm going to just, because it feels like it wants some other information.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look at that stuff, some research, read that. That feels really really kind and supportive to the parts that want to have that information alongside the actual experience that we've just been through.
The actual experience that is the frontier of your work, and that you're able to generate spontaneously when you attend. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's good to have
I'm
some
also
theory.
just curious about that. Yeah.
Sure.
And there are definitely parts that like theory.
Absolutely. Yeah. And me too. I mean, tell me what you find, because I'm right there with you, just trying to figure this out and understand what's happening. Try to put it in words to share it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit blown away, James, because
I
was in a lot of pain.
Mm.
And it's a very familiar pain pattern that doesn't go away. I have to take a lot of painkillers and I have to lie down for a long time. And even then, it's probably just time passing that makes it go away. And I'm scared that I'm preempting, and I might be wrong, but I feel good right now.
Yes, I know that feeling. I feel good. What what happened? That's not supposed to happen.
Unfamiliar
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they really don't just go away ever.
Mm.
The headaches.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on finding that place and listening.
Well, let's see. Oh, goodness. I don't have much of a relationship with joy. So
yeah,
it's nice to cultivate it.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing it.
What is this wizardry? What is this crazy magic?
I don't know. Yeah.
No.
I mean, I knew it. I knew
know.
it when I first discovered it. I knew it when I saw it. I was like, oh, okay. That's the best.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Tell the world.
Try him.
I know. Yeah, you really are.
And
okay.
Couldn't do it without you. So thank you.
Thank you back.
Okay.
And thank me. Thank my parts. Thank my sister
right.
for being willing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go and have my breakfast now.
Okay. Hope to hear from you soon.
I'm really grateful, James. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Take care.
Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.